So I want to say a few words about a friend of mine here. His name is Wolfgang. He doesn't want to be interviewed um, for whatever his reasons. He says there's plenty of information about him on the internet, and he's wrote 3 books, and he's famous in in Austria for his sailing adventures. The books are called I forgot the exact name of the books, but if you Google Taboo 2 and Taboo 3, those are the names of 2 of his boats that he was sailing in during his the time that he wrote the books. And so that'll give you a reference. Um, but this guy is just awesome. I feel so fortunate to be a friend of him. We go into the main town together in my minivan, and we go get supplies, and I take him there, and I'm going to the town anyways in my minivan, so he jumps in and hitches a ride with us there. Of course, we bring him back, and we get to talk on the way there. We have about an hour just to chat it up, and I just love talking to him and getting his opinion on different topics. And those are relationships, friendships that I appreciate very much. Um, and yeah, it helps a lot as a fellow sailor to have such a poignant and resonant story from someone. Knowing that they have, experienced so much in their days, and they've accomplished, but they've also been humbled. And to be able to just take key points of their life story. I asked him everything. I asked him, like, what was it like in Austria? When he left when he was in the 60s. He left Austria. This guy, he's 80, like 85 years old, somewhere around there, and he's still strong, and there's no signs of him slowing down. I saw some pictures of him online when he was like in his 20s, and he was ripped, just muscles bulging. And I asked some questions about, I find it very, very interesting, the beginnings of people. Like, how did they even want to break free from their hometown? What pushed them to this yearning to just untie the lines and detach from one's hometown and all, because that right there is, to me, is a big part of the puzzle of why people um, set set off on big missions, and they have seemingly limitless energy to accomplish um, their freedom their and so I asked him, what is it like? You're in Austria, and he said, yeah, he just didn't want to. He saw it from the beginning. He didn't want to. He was a very smart guy, and he could have got any job he wanted. I think he studied engineering, and he did. His biggest fear was to actually get a job and to be stuck at that job for the rest of his life. And he saw that right off the bat. That's back in the 50s, and in the 60s he took off. There was a boat going from Marseille, France, to Australia, and his parents only took him to the local train stop. They didn't even take him all the way to Marseille, and they just said goodbye right there at the local train station. And apparently his parents were crying, and they waved goodbye, and I think he didn't come back for 10 years since that first departure from what is it, Vienna. and then he went up. He took a train from Vienna to Marseille, and then a boat from Marseille to um, what was it, Sydney, and that's where he began building a boat. I believe it was a catamaran, which was a big failure, but a lot of fun and a lot of learning. And he went on to build at least two more versions of catamarans by himself using his own um, design and engineering and construction methods to build it, and becoming the first man to circumnavigate the globe on a catamaran, home built nonetheless. And so, and he's just a living legend, and he's right here in my community. He's a close friend, and I'm going to document more about him, but I just want to actually just kind of get out a little bit about him, and I'm going to continue to develop on my buddy Wolfgang. Cheers.